Hey, Luis here. I want to talk to you about subdivisions. I'm downloading new areas for subdivisions in Texas, and I'm going to explain it how I do it. Essentially, I'm here and on data tree, and I put my criterias in there, and it's Cameron County, Texas Cameron agricultural. Usually, it's agricultural in these areas. I'm checking various sizes of land just to make sure the data is correct. It's not Texas, it's Texas, not Cameron. It's easier to reach out to those sellers. I don't want to reach out to a seller that lives in Texas and lives in the same county. So outside Texas and outside that county. And in Texas too, but not in the same county, right? 10/31st, 2023, that's when I want the download. And then I view results, and then I check if the results are correct before I can download anything, right? But do I know much about this area, about subdivision? I don't. And that's the beauty of it that I'm trying to teach you guys. You don't have to know too much. You don't have to know everything. You just start. And then when these sellers call you and you make an offer, that's when you're going to be able to dissect the deal a little bit better, right? Because we don't know how many sellers are going to be able to talk to us and what are they going to request. But let's say this guy calls us back, right? This one is not a potential for subdivision, but we can do a quick flip, and it's easy, right? You go to land.com. So that's a great website for land in Texas. It's better than Zillow. It doesn't show you the sold ones, but it shows you the for sales ones, and then you can just use that as a guidance. I've been using land.com way more often right now because that's the best for Texas that I see. Not every single lot, it's on Zillow. And here's the area. And we can see that there's a few for sale here and 10 acres. For example, this one is a 5 acres. So 10 acres, they're trying to get 125, so 12K per acre, right? And they're not selling. You gotta think about how much can you offer that guy? $10,000 an acre, not selling. Is it safe to assume that if you put it for sale for $8,000, you'll be able to sell it? Maybe. There's another one for sale for $9,000, $11,000, and that's the price breakdown per acre. Seems like a good vacant lot. I closed a deal in there. I got it under contract for $12,000 an acre, and then I sold it for $15,000 an acre. I was able to make about $50,000, and this one is a good lot. It's a very good lot, but it's too small to do a subdivision. You probably can do 10 acres. If this road was better, you could do 10 acres here. Because if you do less than 10 acres, that's when the whole thing about water and how they want their roads to be built become a liability, right? But for now, we're just sending offers. Like, let's say Cameron County, Texas, subdivision requirement for roads. For 1+ acres of land. Let's see what is gonna give it to me, right? But I don't want you to do this. I want you to first see if is there enough demand in that area? And I did my due diligence, so I know that there is enough demand for the right price, right? So if I get something there, you always use the filter here and you remove the houses, residence. No, I just want land. There's a couple more. $25,000. What is this? That's insane, right? These listings that you see online. But essentially $9,000 not selling, $20,000. Mine was a perfect location. It was something around here. Let me see if I can find. And this one right now. It was a piece of land right here. My intention first was to do a subdivision in this area. That's why I started calling, texting, and everything. But it didn't work for this specific property. I called the city, I called the water company, and it was like too much for a tiny vacant lot. It was 18 acres or 20 acres, well, 12 acres, I don't remember. But anyways, it was too small, and it was next to the airports. And when you have next to the airport, it's harder to do it. And one more thing that you have to think about subdivisions is it has to be out of the ETJ city lines. For example, you go to Harlingen, ETJ city limits. In order for you to do a subdivision, the best areas that I have found is to be outside the city boundaries because it's way less regulations, right? There's a map that you can get, probably right here. But now I'm just downloading a bunch of data and I'm just making tons of offers. I don't know who is gonna come back to me. So I rather just have, instead of like just limiting myself to the ETJ, but having outside the city limits, get everything. It's a couple more data and then have your people call, text and everything else. And then when they get back to you, when you're talking to the seller, that's when you're gonna see, oh, how much can I offer this guy, right? That's when you're gonna understand a little bit more. Requires subdivision, dive land, 10 acres meets for a main artery in a subdivision. Right away of 50 feet, that's a lot, but can be up to 100 feet. For other streets, 40 feet, okay. The one that I have in Texas, I think is 30. Shoulder to shoulder, it's 32. Oh, that's a good thing. But I want to know what kind of roads. All proposed street right away. Drainage, appropriate drainage. What type of road do I have to build? Material. Just feed the AI, you just type in wrong and they will be done for you. And then you call, right? Roast must be, oh, that's something. Permanent paving materials such as asphalt or concrete, matching county road standards for similar traffic volumes. The Cameron County Commissioner might require on a permit. So essentially it's telling me that's paved. Paved roads are very expensive. But still, I don't have a potential seller yet. Once I get someone on the phone, I'll do a little bit more due diligence. Let's say this guy called me. This is a single flip. Again, I'm just checking 5 acres to make sure the data is correct. There's no houses. Let's just look tiny. Because I want to make offers on those guys because you can make good money in Texas. Man, I have found out that Texas is amazing. It takes you longer to do a comparable because you don't have the sold comps. But after you get it under contract, you can do so much like this one. This one's prime land, right? It's all commercial. But let's download and talk to the guy. Maybe he's interested in selling. Most likely not, but I'm not scared because I'm not on the front line as well, right? I'm not doing all these calls, texting, and everything else. They do the calls and then they let me know what happens. We're gonna go back to advanced search and we're gonna bump it up. Let's do 5 plus acres to 20. Let's see how this data looks like. As I was saying, I bumped it up the acreage, and now I'm looking at properties that are 8 acres to 20 acres, just to see if the data is correct again. And look at this. This is a good property. If you get this property in their contract, you can split it up into 10-acre parcels, and it will be perfectly matching here. Like I said, 10-acre parcels are easy to get it done. But even if you get this under contract and you don't want to do all the hustle because maybe there's too much involved, you can just wholesale that contract to someone else, make 30, 40, 50K. And this is a good vacant lot too. And look at this. You have a subdivision next to it. So you can go and you check which subdivision is this. And you ask the county, hey, how do they do? And it looks like it's paved road, like the Perplexity was saying, right? And
Let's left a voicemail. I'm going to send him an email right now.
Left a voicemail? Yes, it's super cool because you can see it's paved roads. So they had to do paved roads. The thing is, like, did they have to provide water, electricity, sewer? What was it, right? And then you reverse engineer. But this is a subdivision right there. You can call this lady too and talk to her about it, right? So essentially that's what you do. It's a good area. It's a very good area. And look, almost the same size lot. It was split into all these little houses. We go to advanced search and the data is coming correctly. So I want to pretty much download all the acreages possible because it depends on how people are going to call me. I'm going to go 21 acres to infinite number, just whatever number. And there's another 760 results. And there's tons of land. I can start reaching out to sellers, see the ones that come back, and then learn more about the subdivision world. And if you do want to learn more about it, you got to contact me because this is not easy, but I give you the guidelines how to do it. Look, this one is a little more outside properties, but you see this one is for sale for $320,000. If you get something in there, doesn't have much road frontage. If you don't have much road frontage, it's a little bit harder to do a subdivision, especially depending on the county. But this one is a pretty good one. You can do a few 10-acre parcels, right? You can just split them up right here into 10 acres and get it done. I'm going to show it to you right now. If you get this one under contract, you put a few 10 acres here, maybe 4. My lines are bad. 5, 6, whatever it is, and you can sell it. And to make 10 acres, it's super easy. It's like you're not gonna believe. You just have to hire a surveyor, and that's about it. As long as it's outside the city limits, which looks like it is. Some Benito is here, and the land is right here. So this is all good land. Maybe like 10% of this land would not be good. Like this one, a bit harder to sell, but still, no, you can split this up in 10 acres. It's perfect layout. Now this one is bad. If you look at this one, it's like an encyclopedia. Okay, thanks, Jack. This one is an encyclopedia lots. Those are like run away from it. There's like nothing you can do with that one. Unless she has more land. I'm talking to Jack right now. We're calling some sellers because we're going to be going to Texas. So we want to see more properties. We have a meeting with a couple sellers already. Look at this one. This one is a perfect one. Let's download everything and then we figure it out. Let's see just the size for you to have a notion. It's 2,029, 896 divided by 43560. So it's 46 acres. Man, you can do 10 parcels, 4 parcels at least in here. 4 parcels of about 12 acres, something like that. And man, you can make money. Because there's a county road right here. There's another road right there. And of course, to make the offer, it's a little bit more complicated. You would have to go to land.com and you would have to see what properties are selling here for. And then you check if there's 10 acres available for sale in there. And I can show it to you really quick. But you have to be on the live call because you got to bring these deals and then we got to dissect together, right? That's how I did it. I paid someone to teach me and I was bringing tons of leads to this guy. And we were reviewing every single Friday. And that's how I was able to get my subdivision done because I was constantly active looking for deals and bringing people that I talked to, sellers. So I wasn't just bringing a property that I didn't talk to, which you could so you can understand it more, but you don't want to waste your time too much before you have it under contract. You get what I'm saying? Let's see here. It's right on top. A little bit further. XX Colony. Oh, so it's right here after XX Colony. Somewhere right here. And see, there's not enough data in here for sale, but it looks like there's a subdivision. Someone did a few tracks in there. Look at that. 31. He divided the piece of land.
She didn't answer.
She did. She didn't answer. Oh man, that girl, she's never answering us, huh? Oh, it's the same.
First time.
The first time, yeah, because she thought that I was the gardener. She really thought I was the gardener because the guy's name's Luis. Anyways, we just go there, we take a photo by her land, we look at, and then we start sending her postcards like, hey, we loved your land and whatever it is, right? The only thing, same thing with Glenn, because we have to see John's progress in there. Take a photo, send it to him, and hope for the best and keep following up for the rest of his life. Right? That's how we have to do it. It's a good plan. Yeah, thank you. Okay, Rita, we tried calling. Jess, we tried calling. Now, Glenn, right? Cool.
I can call.
Thank you. This is my partner right now in Texas. He's calling people. 21 acres, $199,000. So roughly $20K per acre. A little bit less, right? Let's do a quick math here. You're going to know how much he's selling the land for. It looks like he sold a few. 199,900 divided by... Oh, this one is 34 acres. So 5,879. But this one, because some of the acreage you cannot use, looks like. So let's take the middle one. The 189,900 divided by 23. So 8,256. And he didn't have to build any roads. This is what I'm talking about. If you get the seller to accept an offer for this whole tract for $5,000, you're going to double your money. A little bit more than a little bit less than double your money, but let's say he accepts $4,000. I'm just saying 5,000 because you can still make tons of money on this one. Because if you think about it, 23 plus 23 plus 20, 40, 34. So if you get at $5,000 an acre and then you sell it for $3,000 an acre, you 80 multiplied by 3,000 because that's your spread. You still make 240 grand. That's insane for something so easy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Just go and look for active lots and start mailing them, start cold calling and everything else. And you can contact Ryan. Hey, Ryan, can you share more information about this vacant lot? And this is the same one, right? Yep, he's selling the tract. So he's not selling, actually. You have to cut him on the price. You have to sell it for even less than what he's trying to sell it for. And that's the whole mentality that I try to teach my students is go low. Go low and see what you can do, right? Under contract. $7,999 an acre, and this one is under contract. You can just reverse engineer, and that is a nice road right here. You can do a few lots in here. You can do probably 10 acres here or 5 acres here. Depending on the location too, you can do 5+ acres. That's less regulation too. So again, you just have to see what the county asks you for. And look at how much road frontage. This is an amazing subdivision property under contract. But as I know about all these areas, I'm just gonna download all these data. I'm gonna advanced search, and I want to download all the acreage. I don't care if it's small or big. Back to you guys. I'm still on the line with my business partner, and then I removed the acreage, so it's any type of acreage, and he showed me 2,233 results, which is an amazing list, right? I can't view on data tree more than 1,000 by the time. That's why I broke it down into smaller parcels. But I already know that the parcels are coming with good data, right? Again, 90% of the data will be good and 10% would not be good. But I'm going to download the properties right now. I'm going to remove duplicates owners because we don't really need. When we get a hold of them, we can see, 885. So that number dropped a lot. But still, it's a good list, right? Cameron County, Texas, outside owners. And Excel friendly, upper and lower, and that's it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it to my guy that finds all the phone numbers, emails, and then he's gonna run through the test. He's gonna run through his software, whatever it is, and then he's gonna give me the list with all the phone numbers and emails potentially for these people. And my employees are gonna start texting, calling, and doing everything in their power to get these people to answer it. And then when they answer, they're gonna tag me. I take a look at the property, and I take a look at the property, and then I make an offer, right? And we go back to the seller with the offer.
Okay.
That's how we do it.
Voicemail.